Welcome in, folks. Quick hitters, Goodymo short crew. I think we all need a reboot. NBA playoffs. Game 6 tonight. Eastern Conference Finals. New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. Gonna see how that's gonna turn out. I'll tell you what, if the Pacers want to close this thing out, they got to do it in Game 6. They do not want to go back to New York. As tough as it is to win a series down 3-1 and then come back, that's what the New York Knicks are looking at right now. So if I'm Indiana, I'm trying to close this thing out tonight. They do not want to go back to New York. They do not want to do that. But the good thing I hear about coming out of the camp, that C.J. Stroud is going to have more control of the offense. Why he didn't have more control last season, who knows? Obviously, this guy knows what he's doing. So we're going to get into this press conference, and then we're going to get into this article in a minute here, because C.J. Stroud, man, he's very high on Nick Caley. New offense. Moving pieces around. Going according who you playing against. Scheme-wise. And like I stated before, listening to this guy, man, he got you ready to play some football. This is an energetic offensive coordinator, and he's Johnny on the spot. We won't listen to it all, but man, he's like right on it. He just fills you with energy. Like I say, he got me wanting to play. So let's get into that real quick, and then I'm gonna come to this little article about C.J. Stroud, because he's high on Nick Caley. Everybody's high on Nick Caley. Bobby Slowick is out. The guy ran plays that wasn't working, and he continued to run them multiple times throughout a possession. You won't get that from this guy. This guy will take accountability after each game. If they're not playing up to par, he's going to tell you you're not playing up to par. If y'all stunk up the field, he going to say you stunk up the field and you got to get better. You didn't see none of that from Bobby Slowick last season. He made excuses. Turned the other cheek saying, we'll figure it out. Didn't have no confidence. But you want to know what confidence is? This guy right here. Let's listen to him.
How's it going, guys?
Caley, everyone. What's up?
How's it going?
I think they should have some time now to dig into offense and your standpoint, how do you think it's going so far?
Yeah, I think everything, to answer your question, really it's not my stamp specifically. It's what suits the strength of the guys that we got. So I think we're in the discovery process through phase 2, and we get to work with them on the field, get an opportunity to see the different skill sets, the different routes, the different schemes that we could potentially deploy this year. So it's really an evolving process, and this is the time to really kind of put the rubber on the road and see what we can do and evolve from there. I do. We're tracking, we're growing every day. We're, learning. There's mistakes and trials and errors, and we're growing and improving and eliminating repeated mistakes. The guys have a great attitude. They're working their tails off, and I've been very pleased with everybody. Yeah, they love the position. They take a lot of pride in what they do. Yeah, they love football.
What does the Nick Caley offense look like?
Well, it depends on the players we got, and that's not a cop-out. That's the reality of it. So it can evolve, be willing to change and do whatever we need to do that's necessary based on who we have and who we're playing. Whether that's, again, you want to get big in terms of multiple personnel or not, gap schemes or zone schemes, committing to more play action or not, that's going to really be dependent on, what your personnel dictates and who you have available. So again, that's the great part about this year is we get to do a lot of different things and really put a lot of guys in different positions.
Are y'all ready? Huh? Are y'all ready? Is he pumping you up?
Positions to run certain routes, some of them which some of these guys have never done anything, or certain routes that we have, and they might be just exclusively outside receivers that we're working inside and vice versa. So it's a good opportunity just to see what these guys can do.
CJ said that he's going to have a little bit more on his plate at the quarterback position than maybe he'd had his first 2 years. What kind of goes into that, and what sort of things maybe be on his plate that previously he hadn't been asked?
Yeah, I think it's like anything else. The more you can do, the better off you're going to end up being. And he wants to have the ability to be able to have control. And when you're at that position, there's a lot of great value in being able to fix problems that come up or unscouted looks that come up. And it doesn't happen overnight. That's for sure. And it's repetition, it's comfort.
And I think that was the problem last season. As you saw, C.J. Stroud frustrated in a lot of ball games last season due to Bobby Slowick offense just not handing over the keys to C.J. Stroud. High pick. Why wouldn't you allow him to control your offense? Let him make the plays at the line of scrimmage. If he has to change out of a call, go into another play, allow him to do that. C.J. was frustrated a lot last season, and it was because he wasn't allowed to make his own calls, his own plays. When you want to run it, he probably wanted to pass. He saw something different. Pass into audibling into a run. He just didn't have no control. It was all Bobby Slowick. And as you see, that wasn't working. So, number one is the scheme of the offense that they had last season. Bobby Slowick's offense. Scrap that, no good. Number two, you didn't get your best player on the team, quarterback C.J. Stroud, any leadway to control that offense. You put handcuffs on it. No good. Houston Texans got a hell of a defense. You have to complement that with some offense. That's what Nick Caley's here to do. I'm proud. I'm happy for it. He got me excited, but it's totally different now. But C.J. Stroud is bought in already, and you can see why. Because he didn't have no type of freedom like this last season.
With the offense, he's working hard. He's done a good job, and we'll just keep growing that.
Nick, how long do you think, being a first-time play caller, how much do you use that to your advantage at the start of the season before they finally get the play caller?
You don't look like a first-time play caller.
Because everybody around you guys been a few coordinators to get a football in all coordinators back. How long do you think you have before you finally some enough out there so they can start?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I think that, again, it's like anything else. We're going to continue to build our scheme as we get into the season. The season's a long ways away from now. So all honestly we're focused on is trying to get better every single day, deploy the different schemes that we want to try to experiment with, see what fits us, and we'll see. I know this. We have a good staff. We have good players here. We have good guys that love football, and we're just trying to grow every day. I'm not worried about what's going to happen in September, honestly. I'm worried about just trying to get better every single day here.
Nico says it's going to take time.
We'll leave it right there. Feel the energy. NFL season is coming upon us. We're all excited. New OC, who has energy, who has insight, looks brilliant, looks smart, changing a lot of things up. Defense is solid. We don't have to worry about the defense. D'Amico got that defense. We just needed some offense that could put points on the board, move the chains, don't turn over the football at a high rate. Mixing that balance in with pass and run. Knowing when you need to put the ball in C.J. Stroud's hands and tell him to go out there and win it for us. Not afraid to sling the football all across the football field. Allow C.J. Stroud to show his talents. That's what this is all about. Put it in your best player's hands. Allow him to lose it or win it for you. He was handcuffed. Not no more. Let's get into this article. What C.J. Stroud think of his OC? The Houston Texans fired offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick this offseason and hired Nick Caley in part to help quarterback C.J. Stroud take the next step in his career. The 2023 Offensive Rookie of the Year spoke for the first time about the OC change on Monday, saying Caley's system will allow him to take control of the offense at the line of scrimmage, something that Slowick's scheme didn't ask of the quarterback. Taking control and being a little more pre-snap, having tools to put my guys in the best position, that is something that we really didn't work on these last 2 years. So I will be able to put my swag on it, have fun with it. He is all about me taking full ownership, running the show, and that's what I want. So it's really been really cool. Can't believe either he said that or they pretty wrong. So it's really been really cool. Wow. To see that he's bought into me and he doesn't really know me well yet. He talked about today having blind trust, and I have a lot of trust in him already. Just how he talks and how he presents in the room is really cool to see. CJ's bought in. He's excited. I'm seeing big things this season coming in for this offense. It don't have to be all world. It don't have to be the greatest show on turf. But man, if it's close, and this offense can produce something, averaging 21 points or better a game with the type of defense the Texans have, they'll be right back in the mix. But this time, not falling short. Getting to some kind of championship. Some kind of championship. Start from there. This team don't have much time. Y'all might think they do. They're the same as the Houston Rockets. They don't have much time. They're thinking winning now. So I'm looking for this season, everybody come in on board. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be greedy. They're going to be energetic. They're going to be passionate to go actually win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm giving them that high expectation to go and win a Super Bowl. That's why Nick Caley is here. This defense is already Super Bowl ready. G.S.Q.H, Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Nick Caley. Everybody on board with him? Or y'all wanted somebody else? Damn sure not Bobby Slowick. He's on that first train smoking. But I'm backing this guy up because one thing I know about Nick Caley, without even meeting the guy, he's accountable. When you see his press conferences throughout the year, he ain't going to be making no excuses. He's going to tell you what's going to happen. You hear me? And what's going to get fixed if it comes to that point. But they might come right out of the gate. Who knows? But even he said it's going to take a little time with C.J. Stroud running this offense, having more ownership, calling the plays, getting out of sets, putting them in the right situation. So we're going to see. Enjoy y'all Super Saturday. Man, it's humid in Texas. It's humid in Texas. I'm out of here. Peace.